Hey, wake up!
Boy, is it late already? What time is it? Huh?
You must be the gamer of love.
What the? Scarlet Sheep? But you were supposed to be a one-off gag from March.
Yes, to you anyway. But in reality, I'm part of a council of guardian animals sworn to help YouTubers all over the world.
And I got a sheep?
Precisely. It's a very complicated and intriguing process. See, we analyze your gaming preferences and...
Yeah, don't really care. Just where am I? Why am I here? Where's my glasses? And why can't I move normally?
Ah, yes. Your movements have been restricted in the realm of YouTube animal spirits, or YAS for short. And it is here in the YAS where you will review Sonic 06.
What? Why would I review that monstrosity?
You are the gamer of love. You have the ability to bring positivity wherever you go, finding hope in places no one else can.
Look, Scarlet, I appreciate the obvious delusional faith in me, but I don't even have the skill necessary to tackle such a beast. I mean, this would be what, my third review in the 10 months I've been doing this?
Well, it's up to you. The elder of the Yas won't let you leave until you review a Sonic game.
Aha! See? Just a Sonic game, not Sonic 06 in particular. So isn't there another Sonic game I can do so I can get out of here? I got college stuff to do.
Well, there is one Sonic game that we keep in the bargain bin. Mostly because the elder hates that game.
Really? Awesome! What is it?
Well, dig into the bargain bin and find out.
Okay, I guess I'll do this.
Ah, excellent. Now let's get on with the review.
Hold on, will ya? At least let me do my little spiel first.
Do what you must.
Thank you. Hello, my little love muffins. Welcome to the LovelessGamer show, where every game deserves a little love. You know, on this show, I try to look at games that have been commonly panned and give them justice. So it was inevitable that I would eventually do a Sonic game. And since I'm stuck in the ass until I review a Sonic game, I'm going to be looking at the Blue Blur's debut to the Wii entitled Sonic and the Secret Rings. Now, Sonic and the Secret Rings is a product of what I like to call the Dark Age of Sonic, which is a vague point in time where Sonic games were universally known to suck, with Sonic 06 being the worst. Now, while I agree that Sonic 06 is one of the worst Sonic games ever made, I wouldn't necessarily call it a bad game. I mean, I'm not going to say that Sonic 06 is sorry. My body physically rejects me saying that Sonic 06 is
Will you knock it off? This video isn't even about Sonic 06.
Anyway, getting back on track, Sonic and the Secret Rings was an ambitious project that took hold of the new fad that was motion controls, and having a story that was loosely based around the stories of the Arabian Nights. Now, this game holds a very special place in my heart because this was the first Wii game I ever played. Heck, this was the game that made me want to buy a Wii in the first place. And back when it came out, I thought it was amazing. But now the real question remains, how much love does Sonic and the Secret Rings deserve now? Well, thanks to a suggestion from Kev10 about 10 months ago, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, bro, we're about to find out. Oh yeah, and spoilers in case you care. You probably don't, though.
I care.
Well, I didn't ask you, now did I? So we begin our story with Sonic sleeping in what I assume to be a random stranger's house. Sonic wakes up and grabs a random ring on the table, which I swear wasn't there in the opening scene. Then a genie comes out the ring, I think. The genie's name is Shara, and she comes from the world of the Arabian Nights, where an evil spirit known as the Eraser Jinn, which is implied to be the genie from Aladdin, is absorbing the words from this book with the intention of destroying the world of the Arabian Nights and taking over our real world. Hold up a minute, I'm not finished. The genie then gives him another ring for him to wear so she can grant him quote-unquote simple wishes. He wishes to be brought into the world of the Arabian Nights so he can stop the Eraser Djinn and save this world from destruction. Whew! Okay, so like most Sonic games nowadays, this story is needlessly complicated and has more holes than a fine Swiss cheese in a strainer. For example, if the Eraser Djinn, who is said to be more powerful than Shara, is unable to leave the book, then how did Shara get out the book in the first place? Needless to say, I have way too much to say about the story. So, for the sake of time, I'm just gonna be ignoring the stupidity of it and just hit the basic plot points. Cool? So after being taken into the book, we start learning the controls in what I assume to be the result of Eraser Djinn's, for lack of caring to think of a better word, erasing. Now would be a good time to talk about the controls. This game is what I'd like to call an on-rails platformer. Resembling games like Temple Run or Subway Surfers, Sonic is on a set path, always moving forward. So the controls is less about free roaming, which is what we're used to in a Sonic game, and more about reacting to obstacles as they obstruct your path, or slightly altering your path via shortcuts. Now, despite the major amount of complaints I've seen online, this control scheme really isn't a problem because it works. I mean, jumping and moving left and right is responsive, and the homing attack admittedly sometimes didn't work, but it was manageable. However, nothing in this single player experience is as frustrating as going backwards. No, I'm serious, going backwards sucks. I swear that when I started playing the game, sometimes it flat out wouldn't work, especially in places where it was required to continue the game. I mean, eventually I got the hang of it, but by that time I was already at the last levels, where going backwards is basically a waste of time. The camera doesn't really help its case either. It kinda stays behind you like an early Crash Bandicoot game. And just like in those games, it's never really a problem until you have to backtrack. Now add that to the poor braking system and imprecise rail grinding, and you'll have a recipe for frustration I can tell you we're able to have! So after completing the tutorial levels, we finally get to meet the Eraser Djinn. He basically tells us he's doing some evil things and gives us a curse. Sonic must now collect all 7 of the world rings before the flame on his chest goes out. If the flame goes out, Sonic will die. The Eraser Djinn then goes after the main character of the book, King Shahryar. So Sonic and Shara make haste to the Sand Oasis, where we get the real first level. Now, I do need to point out that the cutscenes look really nice. Now, unlike the above average gameplay footage quality, yeah, we're gonna pretend that's a word, the cutscenes look like I was actually reading a book, which goes in the spirit of what they're trying to do with the theming. Even if I don't agree with the actual content, I have to give it points for being pleasant to look at and surprisingly creative. For a Sonic game anyway. So now I get to the King's Palace, only to find it to be empty, until a jar breaks to reveal Dr. Eggman. Don't tell me you're involved somehow. We don't need this plot to be more complicated than it already is. No, instead that is King Shahryar. See, for whatever reason, some of the main characters of the stories of the Arabian Nights resemble Sonic characters. Now, I really wish I could give an explanation about why that is, but the game doesn't really seem to care about giving us one, so neither will I. So after King Eggman here gives us absolutely no useful information whatsoever, he's suddenly kidnapped by a dinosaur? Scarlet, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember reading about dinosaurs when I skimmed the stories. Why dinosaurs? Was the original tales of giant eagles, magic carpets, and genies not exciting enough? So you gotta add some freaking dragons? This just blows my mind on so many levels, causing it to collapse in on itself. Ugh. I need to move on before I lose the ability to speak coherently. Well, why don't you talk about the mission system? After all, it is the most common complaint I hear about this game. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Now, instead of doing the classic linear progression like Sonic games in the past, Sonic and the Secret Rings decides to use a mission select system. When you complete a certain mission, you can either get a story bit or randomly run into a not Chaos Emerald. And unlike the unique cutscenes and control scheme, this is actually a problem, mostly because you don't know which missions are filler and which missions are required to continue the story. Now, some of the story missions are straightforward and, if you pay attention, let you know exactly what you need to do. But finding the world rings that are not within the main storyline is a pain in the butt. It's especially frustrating when you find out that infamous pterodactyl egg scavenger hunt thing is completely optional. Which, by the way, is not as bad as people have led you to believe. But that's probably because I accidentally killed myself, which resetted the eggs and allowed me to get it done quicker. Huh, now that'd be a very interesting thing to put in a walkthrough now, wouldn't it? Hey kids, welcome to Totally Legit Walkthroughs! Now, make sure that after you collect 2 of the eggs, you jump into the water and you drown yourself. Otherwise, you'll be doing this for 12 minutes! Now, isn't that totally legit? Like, comment, and subscribe. So on my way to the dinosaur jungle to save King Eggman, I run into a giant 5-eyed sand scorpion. Yeah, I don't know either. But what I do know is that it's now time for a boss battle. Now, the first boss of any game usually sets the tone for the other bosses, as that boss can either illustrate the threat that the main villain can pose, or provide the player with a test to show their mastery over the controls. So let's see how this game introduces our real first threat in the game. The eye! What, that's it? Well, that was barely a minute.
Don't you think you may be over-exaggerating a bit?
No, I'm not. I actually timed it. Subtracting the loading times in the boss cutscenes, the actual battle lasts about a minute. Seriously, I got more challenge from the drill car from Sonic 2. Oh no, he shot the drill. What do I do? He shot the drill. What do I do? He shot the drill. What do I do? Yay! Well, despite the lackluster performance of the first boss, the other 4 bosses in this game are actually pretty good. Actually, I'm kind of impressed by how well and uniquely designed each boss is. So after defeating Mr. Get Over Here, I acquired the Yellow World Ring, and we learn a little bit more about the lore surrounding this world. To sum it up, once all 7 of the world rings are collected, the portal between the book world and the real world will open. But the collector of the rings, aka Sonic, will have to be killed in order to control this power. But how does that...
Wait, I thought you said you wasn't gonna comment on the story that much.
Never mind. So after finding out we're pretty much going to die no matter what we do, we go to the dinosaur jungle to save King Eggman in a manner that makes Sonic seem less than a smart life hero and more like a jerk. So our egg ship here basically tells us that the Eraser Jin kind of threw his hands in the air, said screw it, and went into the abandoned castle. So I collect the world ring from this Jurassic Park and head towards the castle, when we find that the Eraser Jin is summoning a fire genie to burn the rest of these pages, I think. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what he means by that. Anyway, Sonic tries to hurt it, but
it's no use!
Because his soul is tied to the flame, which apparently makes him invulnerable to his attacks, I guess. So he uses Char's power to escape. Now at this point, you get to unlock 2 new abilities, Speed Break and Time Break. Now, unlike some of the powers you unlock within the level up system, these sets of powers can only be unlocked when you complete a specific stage. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention there's a level up system? There's a level up system. It's generic, bland, and gives you powers that are sometimes useful. Moving on. Now, I kinda already went through what these powers do in my top 7 Sonic items review, so I'll be brief. Speed Break makes you go fast, and Time Break makes you move slow. Both are useful in their own right, but you probably won't ever have to use them. But I do have to say that the sound effect that plays when using Time Break kind of ticks me off. So Sonic escapes back into the Sand Oasis and talks to Tails, who is a representation of Alibaba. He tells us to go look for Sinbad, aka Knuckles, who is imprisoned on top of a roof, or living fossil bird thing. So after freeing Sinbad and getting the Blue World Ring, he points us into the direction of the pirates who stole the Water Blue World Ring that he used to control storms. After finding and defeating the head pirate and acquiring the Water Blue Ring, Sonic makes his way back to the old castle to destroy the fire genie because water make fire bad. Okay, wait, alright, hold on. Something doesn't add up.
But you said that you wouldn't.
I know what I said! But this little bitty fact is too big for me to ignore. Now, Earlier, they said that Sonic was the only one who could touch the rings and use them because Sonic is not of the world of the book. So I just have one question. How is Sinbad, who is of the book, able to use it? And how come the water blue ring is the only ring with a special ability? Can the white ring make it snow? Why can't the green ring make you talk to plants? Can the red ring do anything else except make you a little bit mad? Ah! The brain thing is happening again.
Look, this review has been going on for too long, and there's still so much you haven't covered.
My God, Scarlet, you're absolutely right. I haven't even mentioned the amazing soundtrack in this game, which most Sonic games tend to have. By the way, I hope you like Seven Rings in Hand because you'll be hearing that till your ears bleed. And on top of that, I haven't even shown my massive failures and some of the glitches I've encountered. And on top of that, there's still a lot to this story, even with this simplified version. So how about we make this a little bit more interesting?
What do you mean?
I'm pulling a Sonic Underground. The next couple of parts will be sung.
Wait, what?
Begin! Sonic and the Secret Rings. Story is too complex. After I defeat the Fire Genie, he turns into a bomb. And then I take it outside. It explodes into a red world ring of rage. Then we go sing King Solomon, Undead King. But just ahead, I just went through the wall. Going backwards sucks balls. I'm stuck on the attack for about a minute. He tells me to find the 40 thieves and kill them, and then I find 5 pieces of his dog bones in hand. He gives me some helpful information about the whereabouts of the Eraser Gin, and then I find his palace after an awesome CG cut scene. We storm his palace and find a world ring. After a boss fight that is pretty cool, there's a false ending that makes me feel like a fool. I'm a singer, I swear I am. So after you collect the world rings and open the door in that false ending I mentioned earlier, the Eraser Jin takes the rings and attempts to kill Sonic. However, Shara, who has a very implied romantic relationship with Eraser, sacrifices herself to save Sonic. Then the Eraser Jin absorbs the ring's powers, but because Sonic, the collector of the rings, didn't die, the Eraser Jin is transformed into an incomplete beast as the world around them turns into a purplish black void. After acknowledging how ugly he looks, Sonic absorbs 3 of the world rings and transforms into Darkspine Sonic. Yes, I know there's a lot wrong with those last couple of sentences, but you know what? I don't really care. I want to go home. So after an amazing, climactic, and surprisingly intense final showdown, which I must say had me on the edge of my seat even though death in this game is meaningless, Sonic nullifies the power of the rings and reveals that he has Eraser's lamp, and as such is granted 3 wishes. He wishes that Shara is brought back to life, that the stories be returned to where they were, and for the Eraser Jin to be imprisoned in this lamp for all eternity in one of the most gangster scenes in Sonic history.
I cannot be denied by that filthy rat! Why?
I told you, I'm not a rat! I'm a hedgehog!
So gangsta! And so, with the Eraser Jin defeated, Sonic asks Shara for one final wish. You know, other than take me home. Sonic wishes for a mountain of handkerchiefs, which is a callback to a joke they made earlier which wasn't really even funny to begin with. He wishes for the handkerchiefs so that way Shara can cry over her lost love. And it's kind of a reminder to all of us that everyone we know and love will either die or go to jail. The end. And that's the game. Now, to be frank, I really had a lot of fun playing this game again. Yeah, I know, a Sonic fan enjoying a Sonic game, it's so unheard of. But this game, while obviously flawed, had some really good things going for it. And for Sonic's debut to this brand new console, it was a pretty good attempt. And it's for that reason and more that I have to give Sonic and the Secret Rings my love rating of Lame Friend. Sonic and the Secret Rings is a weirdly made game with a control scheme that was, at the time, unheard of. And for what it is, it's really good. It controls decently enough, it has a look like no one else I know, besides his brother, and it has a very Sonic-y feel to it. But, like any lame friend, the major problem that kills its chances of ever being a bestie is how bad it is at telling a story. Now, while the story it chooses to tell is not offensive and can keep your attention, it also has inconsistencies, plot holes, and feels a lot more complicated than it really is. And yes, I know, story isn't what matters, gameplay is what matters when you're playing a video game. Yes, I get all that. But if the main driving force of your game, along with its gimmicks and theming, revolves around a flawed, convoluted, and pretentious storyline, well, I can't help if it ruins some of the experience for me. The camera, despite my complaints, was pretty good at keeping focus, but the mission system could have been a lot better. However, despite all my complaints about how annoying this game can get at times, it's still a good friend that I like hanging out with once in a while, and I can depend on it if I have really nothing else to do. And before you ask, yes, I am aware there is a multiplayer mode. But this review kind of went on for too long now. So if you really want to know what the multiplayer is like, you should go check out this Let's Play of me and my friends going through it. There, Scarlet, I did the review. I even ranked it. Now, can you please take me out the yas now? I'm not really feeling this book thing anymore.
The Elder is pleased with your review. So much so that we won't be taking you back. Instead, we will take you to a place far better than where you was before. Bye-bye, Scarlet Sheep! Well, how do you like the new place?
Wow. I really can't believe it. This is actually worse than my last place. And, what exactly did you do with my glasses? And my jacket? And my hair? Did you clean me?
Well, I had to take a few things so I could become your guardian.
Alright, so you took the one thing that I need to see. And that still doesn't explain why I smell like lavender fresh. Never mind. You know what? I don't care. But you owe me a new pair of contacts. Anyway, now I want to hear from you guys. If you were stuck in the desert, what one item would you bring with you? Me, if we're not including clothing, I'd probably bring a big jug of water because, you know, deserts doesn't really have a lot of water. Yeah. So until next time, my little love muffins, I'm the Loveless Gamer, and I believe that every game deserves a little love. I'm gonna be honest here. Don't really know how to leave. Hello my little love muffins, thank you so much for watching this video. This is a new style I wanted to try out to pay homage to one of my favorite games as a child. So if you really like what I did here, leave a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want to know the next time I make another review, well, you can click that little subscribe button to become a love muffin. That way you'll be in the know. If you want to see more of my luxurious reviews, well, there's a playlist right there that'll take you to every review I've made thus far. And if you want to see how that multiplayer mode really is, well, we got the link right there that'll take you down to the playthrough that I did with my two best friends, Justin and Zia. Yeah, that's pretty much all I really got to say right now. The choice is up to you. Until then, see you guys next time. Bye!